Things are getting serious around here. It's the second round of the playoffs, and only 1/4 of the teams in the state remain. I'm your host, Barry Grooms, here to guide you through this final edition of the America's Car-Mart Football Report. Last week, we had plenty of upsets. We had number 4 and number 5 seeds knocking off conference champions. We had 6 games decided in the final seconds. Down at Mills, we had 2 plays with no time left to lift the Comets past Helena by 2 points. In Hot Springs, the Trojans narrowly avoided an upset with an overtime victory over BB. This week, we are set for more fantastic finishes and great games. We'll have a top 5 matchup in Class 5A as Farmington goes to Joe T. Robinson, and a top 6 matchup in 4A with Hamburg and Dardanelle. So sit back, relax. We've got all the predictions and breakdowns next on the America's Car-Mart Football Report.
I'm David Wallace for America's Car-Mart. It's game day in Arkansas. Well, it's always game day at America's Car-Mart. For more than 40 years, Car-Mart has helped hardworking Americans get into quality used vehicles. Car-Mart works hard to ensure customers drive away happy. They give customers peace of mind by keeping them on the road and helping them succeed. That's why Car-Mart was named to Newsweek's list America's Most Trustworthy Companies for 2023. Car-Mart, in your town or community near you, a proud sponsor of Arkansas high school football.
Go beyond your field of study and get a world-class education in leadership. As an Army officer, you'll work side by side with peers who support your growth, and you'll become a role model, mentor, and decision maker in any environment, at any scale. It's a challenging path, but along the way you'll sharpen your skills and show yourself and those around you exactly what you're capable of. Decide to lead at goarmy.com/officer.
Going to college may not look the same as it has before, but you have the power to move forward. There are over 1,000 hands-on or online programs in Arkansas designed to put you to work, and they qualify for state scholarships and grants. Healthcare, education, computer technology, industry technology, and more. Take your next step forward. Visit explorearcareers.com.
Welcome back to the America's Car-Mart Football Report. Did you know at Car-Mart today, $499 down and an unwrapped new toy you can drive off the lot in a brand new car. That's right, it's our toy drive here at America's Car-Mart, and it's to benefit children's hospitals all around the state and the region. So bring in that new toy today, and for less than $500, you're driving off the lot in a quality used vehicle, only at America's Car-Mart. And the drive to Little Rock continues, starting off in Class 7A. Let's look at our top 10. The top 7, they're the same as a week ago. Bryant, Bentonville, Rogers, Conway take up the 1, 2, 3, and 4 slots. All of them off last week with a first-round bye. Number 5 is Bentonville West, holding steady after a 1-point win over North Little Rock. Number 6 is Fayetteville. Number 7 is Little Rock Christian. Springdale moves up a spot to number 8 after beating Cabot a week ago. Cabot comes in at number 9, and Pulaski Academy rounds out the top 10. Now let's look at the big games at the top of the bracket. We've got number 2 Bentonville, winners of the 7A West, hosting the 5th place team from the 7A West, Springdale. Hootens.com going with Bentonville. Got Conway over Bentonville West. In the bottom part of the bracket, here's a big one. A rematch of a state title game from a few years ago. Bryant picked to beat Fayetteville. And rounding out Class 7A, Rogers is favored over Little Rock Christian. Now on to Class 6A. We've got just a little shuffling at the bottom of our top 10 rankings. The top 7 remain the same as a week ago. Greenwood, Shiloh Christian, 1 and 2. They both had a first-round bye. Number 3 is Mountain Home. The Bombers bombed Sheridan last week. Holding at number 4 is Sylvan Hills, who had a first-round playoff bye. There is Benton, the number 2 seed from the 6A East at number 5. El Dorado at number 6 after beating Lake Hamilton a week ago by 18 points. Jonesboro's at number 7 after holding off Fort Smith Southside. Marion moves up a spot to number 8 with that last-second victory over Van Buren. Van Buren drops 1 slot to number 9, and Fort Smith Southside rounds out the top 10. And here are the picks this week at the top of the bracket. Sylvan Hills hosting Marion. This should be a great game, and Sylvan Hills is the pick. El Dorado makes that 630-mile voyage to Shiloh Christian up in northwest Arkansas. Hootens.com likes the Saints to get the victory. At the bottom part of the bracket, Jonesboro, a huge road trip over to Greenwood Greenwood, Hootens.com, taking Greenwood in this one. And it should be a great game in Saline County, where Benton is a slight favorite over Mountain Home. Now flipping over to Class 5A, where we've got some shakeup, but the 1, 2, 3, and 4 teams all remain the same. That number 1 ranked team is Joe T. Robinson, an 11-0 record. But the Senators had to rally in the second half last week to beat Camden Fairview. Greenbrier checks in at number 2. At number 3 is Farmington. And at number 4 is the 5A South champion Hot Springs. But the Trojans had to hold on in overtime last week to beat BB. Parkview moves up a spot to number 5 after beating Maumelle. Hot Springs Lakeside moves up a spot after beating Searcy. Morrilton vaults 2 spots after hammering Nettleton, and Harrison moves up 4 spots after beating Valley View. Those Blazers of Valley View drop from number 8 to number 9. And rounding out the top 10, the Searcy Lions, who lost last week to Hot Springs Lakeside. And here are the picks in Class 5A, starting at the top of the bracket, where 5A Central champion and number 1 ranked Joe T. Robinson is a slight favorite over Farmington, who is the 2 seed out of the West and finished as state runner-up last year. This has great game written all on it. The other game on that side of the bracket, Hootens.com likes Morrilton to go on the road and beat 5A South champion Hot Springs. In the bottom part of the bracket, we like Little Rock Parkview to upend Harrison, and Hootens.com going with Greenbrier over Hot Springs Lakeside in another great game in Class 5A.
Hungry on your way to the game? Satisfy that craving at Colton's. Throw those peanut shells in a bucket. Grab a hot roll and butter. Then enjoy a hand-cut steak or any of our mouth-watering entrees in a relaxed, casual dining environment. With 14 convenient locations across the state, you're sure to find a Colton's near your Friday night football destination.
Few things in life are more important than showing up. Whether you show up for your family, friends, or teammates, it doesn't hurt to bring a plate of their favorite beef dish. Together, we can bring more. Find your next crowd pleaser at beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council, courtesy of Beef. It's whatsfordinner.com. And football fans, for your peace of mind, Friday nights are made for football, and America's Car-Mart is thrilled to be a proud supporter of all high school athletics. So when you roll out with a quality used vehicle from America's Car-Mart, you'll be cruising with peace of mind. Car-Mart's Peace of Mind package offers a 7-day exchange policy, an optional accidental protection plan, and optional service contracts that include roadside assistance and oil changes. From purchase to payoff, Car-Mart's got you covered. Jumpstart your car buying journey online at car-mart.com. That's America's Car-Mart, keeping you on the road.
Going to college may not look the same as it has before, but you have the power to move forward. There are over 1,000 hands-on or online programs in Arkansas designed to put you to work, and they qualify for state scholarships and grants. Healthcare, education, computer technology, industry technology, and more. Take your next step forward. Visit explorearcareers.com.
Now to 4A, we also had a major shakeup in here. Dardanelle's number 1, Elkins number 2. Dardanelle's been the number 1 ranked team all season long. Elkins has been number 2 for the past 6 weeks. At number 3 is Arkadelphia, up 1 spot after Mercy ruling Highland. Stuttgart up to number 4 and Gosnell up to number 5. The Ricebirds and Pirates both had first-round playoff byes. Hamburg up a spot from 7 to number 6 after doubling up Mena last week. Warren up 1 spot after Mercy ruling Gentry. Clinton up a spot after handling Fountain Lake last week by 30 points. Southside moves up from number 10 to number 9 after Mercy ruling Huntsville. And Bauxite back in the top 10 after getting past Ozark. Notice our number 3 team, Nashville, no longer part of the top 10 after losing last week to Pocahontas. And here are the picks. At the top of the bracket, Stuttgart is a favorite over Blytheville. Bauxite, a road pick at Mills. This one could go either way, kind of a coin flip type game. Here's a great one. We've dubbed it our Hootens.com Class 4A game of the week. Southside at Elkins. Both teams a 10-1 record. Hootens.com going with the Elks at home. And rounding out that side of the loaded playoff bracket, Arkadelphia is a home pick over Clinton. Both of those teams sport 10-1 records. Now to the bottom part of the bracket, where Gosnell is favored narrowly over Warren in what should be a thriller of a game. Prairie Grove, Pocahontas, both road winners last week. This week, Pocahontas makes the long drive over to Prairie Grove. Hootens.com going with the Prairie Grove Tigers to get the victory. Another epic matchup. Number 1, Dardanelle, an 11-0 record, versus Hamburg. This one should be a great game. Hootens.com going with Dardanelle. And rounding out Class 4A, Gravett is the pick over Monticello. Now into Class 3A, where most games turned out exactly like we thought last week, and our top 10 remains the same. Salem's at number 1 with that 11-0 record. Mansfield unbeaten at 10-0 stays number 2. Rivercrest at number 3. Both Mansfield and Rivercrest enjoyed first round byes. Bismarck still at number 4. Charleston at number 5. The Tigers were in a shootout last week with Barton. Glenrose at number 6. Then it's Mayflower at 7. Smackover at 8. Fordyce at 9. And Newport rounds out the top 10. And here are the picks. The 1-3 champion Mansfield at the top of the bracket, favorite over Walnut Ridge. Then it's Bismarck, favorite over McGee. The Battle of the Greyhounds in Salem, Hootens.com going with Salem to beat Newport. And Osceola, a road pick at Drew Central. Now to the bottom part of the bracket, where Rivercrest had that first round playoff bye this week. The Colts are favored over Boonville. Glenrose, the pick over Adkins. Hootens.com likes Charleston to go to Fordyce and get the victory, and Mayflower to go on the road and get a victory over Smackover. We'll talk about that game more in a minute. That is the Hootens.com Class 3A game of the week. Now to Class 2A, where the top 5 remain the same as a week ago. East Poinsett County at number 1 after Mercy ruling Conway Christian. Junction City at number 2 after Mercy ruling Bearden. Mount Ida remains at number 3 after a Mercy rule win over McCrory. Number 4 is Carlisle, who just Mercy ruled Spring Hill. And Cross County, rounding out the top 5 at number 5, just beat Bigelow 49-0, another Mercy Rule win. Poen moves up 2 spots to number 6 after a 3-point victory at Gurdon. Des Arc up 2 spots after going to Hector and getting the victory. And Mineral Springs, the surprise of Class 2A, vaults 8 spots from number 16 to number 8 after upending Hampton 32-6. Pretty impressive win for the Hornets. And here are the picks for this week's game at the top of the bracket. No one saw this one coming. Mineral Springs is at Des Arc, and Hootens.com likes Des Arc to get the victory. In a heavyweight match down in Junction City, Hootens.com likes the Dragons over Cross County. Now to the bottom part of the bracket. Number 1 ranked EPC favored over Poen, and number 3 Mount Ida is the favorite over number 4 Carlisle. And at America's Car-Mart, Friday nights are made for football, and America's Car-Mart is thrilled to be a proud supporter of high school athletics. When you roll out with a quality used vehicle from America's Car-Mart, you'll be cruising with a peace of mind. Car-Mart's Peace of Mind package offers a 7-day exchange policy, an optional accident protection plan, and optional service contracts that include roadside assistance and oil changes. From purchase to payoff, Car-Mart's got you covered. Jumpstart your car buying journey online at car-mart.com. America's Car-Mart, keeping you on the road.
I'm David Wallace for America's Car-Mart. Who's feeling the football spirit? America's Car-Mart proudly sponsors Arkansas high school football. Like our hardworking football players, the team at Car-Mart works hard to keep you on the road. Car-Mart knows that buying a vehicle is a big decision. That's why they take selling you a vehicle very seriously. When you shop at Car-Mart, they're there for you through the good times and the bad times until you drive away with a title to your vehicle. Save time at the dealership and start your car buying journey online at car-mart.com. America's Car-Mart, keeping you on the road.
Hungry on your way to the game? Satisfy that craving at Colton's. Throw those peanut shells in a bucket. Grab a hot roll and butter. Then enjoy a hand-cut steak or any of our mouth-watering entrees in a relaxed, casual dining environment. With 14 convenient locations across the state, you're sure to find a Colton's near your Friday night football destination.
Few things in life are more important than showing up, whether you show up for your family, friends, or teammates. It doesn't hurt to bring a plate of their favorite beef dish. Together, we can bring more. Find your next crowd pleaser at beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council, courtesy of Beef. It's whatsfordinner.com.
Go beyond your field of study and get a world-class education in leadership. As an Army officer, you'll work side by side with peers who support your growth, and you'll become a role model, mentor, and decision maker in any environment, at any scale. It's a challenging path, but along the way, you'll sharpen your skills and show yourself and those around you exactly what you're capable of. Decide to lead at goarmy.com/officer.
Going to college may not look the same as it has before, but you have the power to move forward. There are over 1,000 hands-on or online programs in Arkansas designed to put you to work, and they qualify for state scholarships and grants. Healthcare, education, computer technology, industry technology, and more. Take your next step forward. Visit explorearcareers.com.
And welcome back to the America's Car-Mart Football Report. Car-Mart has been in business for over 40 years. We're here to help you when it's game day in Arkansas. Just remember, it's always a game day at America's Car-Mart. America's Car-Mart for 40 years has helped hardworking Americans get into quality used vehicles. America's Car-Mart works hard to ensure customers drive away happy. They give customers peace of mind by keeping them on the road and helping them succeed. America's Car-Mart, in your town or in a community near you, we're a proud sponsor of Arkansas high school football. Well, thank you, Car-Mart. Get in that car and drive to one of these great games tonight, and let's look at some of them. Starting out in Class 7A, Conway hosts Bentonville West. Remember, Conway finished as the number 2 seed after losing that close game to Bryant. They play a Bentonville West team that's won 4 of their past 5 games, but last week, West had to rally for a 1-point win over North Little Rock. And then Conway's only 2 losses this season have been to number 1 Bryant and number 2 Bentonville. Hootens.com likes Conway in this one. Speaking of Bentonville, the Tigers are big favorites at Springdale, but they must stop Carson Hayter. He had 5 touchdowns last week in Springdale's upset victory over Cabot. Now let's look at some big games in Class 6A. None bigger than number 5 Benton hosting number 3 Mountain Home. Benton is 3-0 against Mountain Home all time in the series, but these two teams haven't met in 4 years, and the only time these teams played in the playoffs was in 2016, but this is a different bomber type team. Mountain Home advances to the second round of the playoffs for the 6th straight season after stuffing Sheridan last week 78-42. Bomber quarterback Brantley Phillips had 8 touchdowns against Sheridan. That's right, count them, 8 touchdowns. He only attempted 5 passes, but they covered 108 yards and all 5 resulted in touchdowns. Benton's defense, though, is better than Sheridan's, and Benton has a great offense led by Drew Davis. He's the all-time passing leader for the Panthers, and he sparks an offense that is putting up 45 points a game. This should be a classic in Saline County, and Hootens.com again going with Benton to win this game. Another one we've got our eye on is a rematch from Week 4 when Marion came to Sylvan Hills and won the game. This time could be a different outcome. Marion squeaked past Van Buren on the road last week, scoring 2 touchdowns in the final minutes to take the victory. Sylvan Hills was off a week ago after earning that playoff bye, so they should be well rested. The Bears are led by senior quarterback Tyler Hampton. He's powering an offense that puts up more than 49 points a game, and Hampton, he's passed for over 2,800 yards, 33 touchdowns, and ran for over 500 yards. Marion will have its work cut out stopping him. Now to Class 5A, where our game of the week is number 6 Hot Springs Lakeside at number 2 Greenbrier. Lakeside snapped a 2-game losing streak last week by throttling Searcy 56-34. Senior quarterback Wally Walcott threw for 323 yards and 3 touchdowns as the Ram receivers ran right past Searcy. Really shocked Searcy with their speed. Greenbrier has gone from being a run-heavy team with Enoch Hassan to a very diverse team. Jack Palmer, the senior quarterback, has come around. Last week he threw 3 touchdowns in the first quarter against Batesville. Trendon Mosley had 140 yards and 3 touchdowns on the receiving end, took a reverse 65 yards for another touchdown. All of this, mind you, in the first quarter. Greenbrier led Batesville 42-0 with about 12 minutes gone last week. This one will be much tougher, but Hootens.com likes Greenbrier to escape Hot Springs Lakeside. Upset alert out on Highway 10. Joe T. Robinson is favored over Farmington, but Robinson struggled last week, had to come from behind to beat Camden Fairview. Senior Kevin Deuce Williams, that's right, he's been the man all season long. 3 touchdowns in the second half to rally his team to a victory. Farmington, though, they've got a great quarterback in Aiden Lester. He keeps this one close. Hootens.com picks Robinson, but don't be surprised if Farmington gives them a great game. Now to Class 4A, and a big game is Elkins hosting Southside. These teams have combined for 20 wins this season. Southside's only loss was to undefeated Gosnell in Week 9 for a conference championship, and Southside led that game with 5 minutes to go. Elkins' only loss was at number 1 ranked Dardanelle by 4 points way back in Week 1. Since then, the Elks have won 9 consecutive games by an average of 42 points. Should be a great matchup of running backs. You've got Owen McLaughlin and Braden Simpson for Southside squaring off against against Connor Ham and quarterback Ben Napier for Elkins. Hootens.com going with the Elks to win this one. Speaking of great games, we've got a good one up in Mississippi County where Gosnell hosts Warren. Warren beat then number 1 ranked Gosnell by 15 points way back in the 2002 quarterfinals. That's the only time these teams have ever played. Last week, Warren got up on Gentry by 35 points in the second quarter and cruised to an easy win. Aaron Davis and Blaze Fellows both played well for the Lumberjacks. Gosnell was off last week after earning that first-round bye. The biggest drawback for Gosnell, they've been off 2 of the past 3 weeks and had a 60-point victory sandwiched between that, so Gosnell may not be as sharp, and they really need to be. And here's the colossal matchup in Yale County where undefeated and top-ranked Dardanelle hosts Hamburg. Dardanelle beat Hamburg in the second round of the playoffs in 2014, and by 35 points a year later, these two teams haven't played since. Dardanelle, led by senior quarterback Creed Vega, he had over 400 yards of offense and 3 touchdowns last week against Malvern, and that defense of Dardanelle really showed up. Braden Hardy and Cam Olson played great on that side of the ball along with Rod Chatton. And they'll need another big game because Nikel Lewis is the workhorse for Hamburg. He had a relatively easy game last week, only scored 3 touchdowns against Mena. That's below his average for the season. Caden Thomas, though, gives them another presence at quarterback. This one should be a great game. Hootens.com going with Dardanelle. Great game in Class 3A is the final game on the bottom part of that bracket where Mayflower is at Smackover. This game is Mayflower's high-powered defense going toe-to-toe with one of the most explosive offenses in South Arkansas, the Smackover Buckaroos. The Smackover Buckaroos, led by quarterback Mitchell Polk, he has really carried this team this season. They got Joe Brown, who ran for 190 yards and 1 touchdown last week, and Juice Robinson playing great on both sides of the ball. Had 123 yards and 3 touchdowns receiving, 10 tackles and a pick 6 on defense. Jeremiah King had 3 interceptions for Smackover's defense. They're going to go up against a Mayflower team that just put up 43 points last week, and Mayflower had big nights from Carter Smith, Travion Williams, and Marcus Smith on offense, and they've got a great defense led by Jeremiah Fuller and Marcus Phillips. This is a great game in South Arkansas. Hootens.com going with Mayflower. Just up the road from Smackover, you've got Fordyce. The Redbugs hosting Charleston, another heavyweight matchup in the second round. The Charleston Tigers have looked pretty dominant all season long. Just put up 71 points last week against Barton. The quarterback, Carter Little, had 334 yards and 4 touchdowns in that game. Charleston's only loss was on the road this year to Mansfield. They're back on the road here at Fordyce, and the Redbugs, they've been pretty good at home, but they've struggled in recent weeks. They barely beat Rison and McGee by 6 points each. This will be their biggest test of the season. They've got some injuries down there, and Hootens.com going with Charleston to get the victory. Rivercrest had a first-round bye, and they play Boonville. The Rivercrest Colts, they've been pretty dominant since losing to Forest City in Week 2. They've won 7 straight games. Should be rested up for this one. Boonville put up over 550 yards of offense last week against Quitman. It was a name-your-score type game. Hunter Warren had 4 rushing attempts. 3 of them went for touchdowns, and he averaged almost 30 yards a carry. Unbelievable night for Boonville. Rivercrest defense, though, maybe a little better. Into Class 2A, the game of the week is down in Union County where number 2 Junction City hosts number 5 Cross County. These two teams played in the first round last year. Junction City won it by 2 touchdowns. Cross County enters this game this year on a 5-game win streak, and that loss came way back on October 10th to number 1 ranked EPC by just 4 points. Last week, the Thunderbirds routed Bigelow 49-0. Caden Crawford had 249 yards and 4 touchdowns, while Braxton Armstrong had 190 yards and 3 touchdowns. Coach Van Pascal, he wants to run the football, and his team will try to do it against a Junction City team that has been absolutely dominant on both sides of the ball. The Dragons intercepted 4 passes last week against Bearden and had nearly 600 yards of offense. 516 of that came rushing the ball. DeCorey Larry, he has developed into a great playmaker, and this should be a terrific terrific game. Cross County, one of the few teams in Class 2A who can physically match up with Junction City, but the Dragons will get this victory. And lastly, EPC favored over Poen. Poen went on the road last week, beat Gurdon by 3 points. Senior quarterback Colt Baird had almost 400 yards of offense, including 318 passing. Austin Harness ran for 2 touchdowns, but the Indians must play almost flawless to beat EPC. EPC's been the state runner-up the past 2 seasons. They've got a senior quarterback in Eli Blagg who threw 3 touchdowns last week, and they can really run the ball with Jacob Gaines and D. Buchanan. Those guys are each capable of 100-yard nights anytime they touch the ball. That's why Hootens.com is going with EPC. And you should go to America's Car-Mart for your car needs. If you're credit challenged, America's Car-Mart is the place for you. Car-Mart provides affordable, used vehicles with flexible financing and low down payments. Once they help you find the right vehicle, they'll determine a payment plan to fit your budget. Car-Mart is here for you. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, and online at car-mart.com. It's America's Car-Mart, keeping you on the road.
I'm David Wallace for America's Car-Mart. You know, America's Car-Mart is your number one fan when it comes to Arkansas high school football. And when you drive away in a quality used vehicle from Car-Mart, they're cheering for you all the way to the end zone. From purchase to payoff, Car-Mart is there for you. They'll work with you and your situation to find a payment plan that fits your budget. So go see for yourself why Car-Mart is different from all the rest. Stay connected by following Car-Mart on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, and online at car-mart.com. America's Car-Mart, keeping you on the road.
Go beyond your field of study and get a world-class education in leadership. As an Army officer, you'll work side by side with peers who support your growth, and you'll become a role model, mentor, and decision maker in any environment, at any scale. It's a challenging path, but along the way, you'll sharpen your skills and show yourself and those around you exactly what you're capable of. Decide to lead at GoArmy.com/officer.
Hungry on your way to the game? Satisfy that craving at Colton's. Throw those peanut shells in a bucket. Grab a hot roll and butter. Then enjoy a hand-cut steak or any of our mouth-watering entrees in a relaxed, casual dining environment. With 14 convenient locations across the state, you're sure to find a Colton's near your Friday night football destination.
Few things in life are more important than showing up. Whether you show up for your family, friends, or teammates, it doesn't hurt to bring a plate of their favorite beef dish. Together, we can bring more. Find your next crowd pleaser at beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council, courtesy of Beef. It's whatsfordinner.com.
Going to college may not look the same as it has before, but you have the power to move forward. There are over 1,000 hands-on or online programs in Arkansas designed to put you to work, and they qualify for state scholarships and grants. Healthcare, education, computer technology, industry technology, and more. Take your next step forward. Visit explorearcareers.com.
Hey, football fans, remember when you're at the game tonight, Hootens.com is your one-stop shop for all things high school football. We have the best, most accurate, up-to-date scoreboard in the entire state. We have live stream links to almost every game in the state. If they have a live stream, we've got it linked to our website. Remember, go to Hootens.com for all your high school football needs. Well, that's a wrap on another edition and another season of the America's Car-Mart Football Report. It's been fun. For our world-traveling producer extraordinaire, Graham Shearer, Hootens.com's top-ranked filmer and executive producer, Thomas Thrash, that's right, he vaulted 3 places in the poll this week back to the #1 filmer ranking and does a great job as our executive producer. I'm Barry Grooms. I've been your host, and thanks for tuning in this season, and we'll see you at the stadium.